Welcome to Heinz in Elst. The KraftHeinz company makes delicious, high-quality, pure products. Our core values are: the consumer comes first, integrity, quality, ownership, meritocracy, and innovation. The KraftHeinz company is now active in almost every country in the world, making us one of the largest food groups worldwide. In the Netherlands, we work with all enthusiastic and passionate people. As well as products for the Heinz brand itself, we make products for many other well-known brands. At Heinz, we have various systems and standards in place for safety, quality, and the environment. They concern food safety, your own safety, and our safety. We would like to introduce you to these rules. The safety regulations and safe working methods and procedures have been put in place to prevent accidents. You are therefore obliged to comply with them. At Heinz, we have 4 core safety values. Nothing we do is worth getting hurt for. Every injury or illness could and should have been prevented. Safety can and will be managed. Safety is the responsibility of everyone. Both Heinz and the hired contractor must ensure working conditions that enable employees to carry out their work safely. The safety regulations and safe working methods and procedures are in place for the prevention of accidents. You are therefore obliged to comply with them. Contractors must be able to identify themselves at all times with a valid proof of identity. After watching the film, you will be given the Heinz Access Regulations, in which the core values are reiterated. You also receive a contractor's badge, which must be worn visibly. You must certify that you have seen the film and that you will comply with the regulations. You must follow the instructions of your guide or contact person. Heinz adheres to the normal traffic regulations. One important exception is the maximum speed. The roads on our premises must be kept free and passable. Smoking is only permitted in the places allocated, and it is not permitted to smoke in the clothing you wear inside the factory. Eating and drinking, including eating sweets and chewing gum, is prohibited in the production areas and outdoor areas. Using and being under the influence of alcohol and drugs is prohibited everywhere on the premises. It is prohibited to take photographs and films without permission. Hold on to the banister when going up or downstairs. This reduces the risk of falling if you miss your footing. All contractors must be able to show at the workplace that they have certification and a work permit that has been completed and signed by Heinz. Heinz is a food company and wishes people to produce food in clean surroundings. It is therefore mandatory to wear work clothing in the production and technical areas. The work clothing must be clean and must consist of long sleeves and long trousers. Any outer pockets on the clothing may not be used. Where indicated, you must wear a hairnet, which must cover the ears and all the hair. All personal possessions that may not be taken into the production areas can be stowed in the lockers. In the production areas and technical areas, wearing nail polish or strong perfume is prohibited, as is wearing watches, jewelry, and visible piercings. Apart from considerations of hygiene, jewelry can also get caught in the machinery. In the case of visible beard growth, it is also mandatory to wear a moustache beard net. Glasses must be worn with a glasses cord. Telephones may be used in a safe area, but not while walking and not during activities. At Heinz, we have 3 zones: low risk, medium care, and high care. Specific regulations apply to these zones. The zones are indicated by signs showing the required personal protection equipment. On entering production areas, it is also indicated whether it is mandatory to wash your hands or disinfect them. This is also mandatory after each break, for example, visiting the toilet. As many bacteria are found on the skin, especially on the hands, all parts of the hands must be washed thoroughly. It is mandatory to carry out the last-minute risk analysis before starting work. Safety starts with a tidy workplace. All workplaces must be orderly and clean. Stairs, corridors and other passages must always be kept clear. Work floors must be clean, dry and free of obstacles. When carrying out work, it is important to inform the department concerned, especially in the case of transport routes, and to mark out the workplace well with tape or cones. Wearing personal protection equipment, such as hearing protection and safety goggles, is mandatory at places where this is indicated or included in the work permit. Machines and installations may only be operated by fully authorized persons. Never leave a machine in an unsafe situation. Only visible approved work equipment may be used. Powered work equipment, such as forklift trucks and electric pallet trucks, may only be driven by persons who have a recognized qualification in driving this equipment. Wearing a seat belt in a forklift truck is mandatory. All users carrying out loading and unloading activities with forklift trucks or pallet trucks must wear a safety vest or jacket. The walking routes are indicated by signs and by lines on the floor. Wearing a safety vest is also mandatory for pedestrians in the outdoor areas or the logistics areas, or any other areas where this requirement is indicated. Be aware of possible danger when working somewhere that forklift trucks are driven. Always make eye contact with the driver. When using hazardous substances, always wear the personal protection equipment prescribed on the Material Safety Data Sheet (MSDS) or the Work Instruction Card (WIC). When using hazardous substances, the MSDS or the WIC must be present at the workplace. If you spill a hazardous substance, always report this to your contact person. Keep doors and windows shut to prevent disturbance from noise and to stop vermin getting in as far as possible. Working at height involves work and/or activities carried out above floor level, for which it is necessary to stand on equipment in order to carry out the work and/or activities. The use of ladders requires a work permit. There must always be 3 points of contact, which means that no work may be carried out on a ladder. Ladders may only be used for inspection purposes and may not exceed a height of 7.5 meters. Work higher than 2 meters must be carried out using an elevating work platform, scaffold, mobile steps or fall protection equipment. Only use an approved platform or scaffold. Special rules apply to using an elevating work platform. This platform may only be used by persons trained to do so. The outriggers must always be used in the case of static elevating work platforms. The lane must always be free of obstacles in the case of mobile platforms. Clearly mark the area in which you are working. Use fall protection equipment. At least 2 people must work on an elevating work platform, one of whom must be able to offer assistance in the event of an accident. Work in accordance with the instructions given in the manual. When working on roofs, work on walkways, and otherwise use the fall protection equipment. Fall protection equipment must always be used when working within 4 meters of the roof edge. Always leave your workplace clean and tidy. You must take away any rubbish or leftover materials yourself. Extra attention is required for welding and grinding. At Heinz, we work with a variety of chemicals and flammable substances, for which there are approved storage places that are identified by the danger symbols. Maintenance work can only be carried out in 8X designated areas with a valid work permit. It is mandatory to wear gloves when working with sharp parts. Make sure you always wear the correct type of gloves. In the production spaces, there are hot pipes carrying water and steam. Please be aware that not all the pipes are insulated and/or marked with a warning sticker. Working in enclosed spaces involves specific risks for health and safety. Working in enclosed spaces must therefore be regarded as a very high-risk activity, for which a work permit procedure must be followed. At Heinz, lockout, tagout, tryout is an important safety procedure in which machines are disconnected from their power source during maintenance. This procedure ensures that employees are protected against the dangers of machines starting to operate and other forms of energy being switched on unexpectedly. Make sure you always attach your personal padlock. Skin wounds must be covered with a non-leak clean blue plaster, which has a metal strip on it. These plasters can be detected if they should happen to get into a product. If you are a carrier of a disease that could be transmitted via food, or if you have infected wounds, skin infections or diarrhea, please notify your contact person of this immediately. In the kitchens, you may only use detectable pens. These pens are made completely of metal, so they can be detected if they should happen to get into a product. If evacuation is necessary in the case of danger, please follow the instructions given by our evacuation leaders. These signs indicate an escape route in the case of emergency. In the case of emergency, you can call the internal emergency number. If you see a dangerous situation in the areas of safety, food safety, quality, or environment, or if you have lost something in the production areas, please notify your contact person immediately. When your work is finished, please hand in the work permit to be checked and signed. After watching the film, you will be required to answer some questions about it. On leaving the premises, your contact person will tell you what to do with your contractor's badge. We may also request to check your bags on leaving the premises. We thank you for your attention and wish you a safe and enjoyable visit.